Hey, welcome investors to the 40 Finance channel. Today I've got another quick video in my Seeking Alpha review series. And on this one, we're going to be focusing on the earnings reports as they pertain to certain stocks, particularly stocks that you may want to follow when you're in the Seeking Alpha platform. Of course, if you've been following my channel, you know that I use Seeking Alpha tools all the time in my videos. However, if you would like to learn more about the platform and save a big chunk of money on a premium annual subscription, check out the description of this video where my affiliate link's down there and it automatically gives you a nice discount when you sign up. It also helps support the channel. And one of the reasons that I'm always comfortable promoting Seeking Alpha, well, for starters, because I'm kind of a power user in that platform, but also it's important to know that you get a 14-day money-back guarantee. So even if you hop in and you don't like it, you don't have to worry about getting your money back. They have plenty of staff members, support members, all that. So definitely check it out if you're interested, and thanks to everyone who's supported the channel so far. Okay, before we look specifically at stock earnings features, I want to show you how this alert system works because this is something that I literally use every day. I prefer email alerts on the stocks that I follow, but you can also get the alerts through a notification in the Seeking Alpha app. And basically what you do, you can set up as many portfolios as you want, and you can add whatever stocks you want. So in this demonstration, I made a portfolio that just has the top holdings of the QQQ. And within that, there's this Manage Alerts button. And you can see in this portfolio, I don't have any of the boxes ticked because some of these names are kind of cross-populated in other portfolios that I have. But if I wanted to get, say, article alerts about all the stocks here, I can either click the top to get alerts for all of them, or I can choose individual names. And the difference, in case you're curious, between articles and news, news is just like it sounds, the type of like AP press wire news that you would get. Seeking Alpha has their own news desk that crafts news articles for them. And they do a pretty good job and a very timely job at that when it comes to breaking news. Articles, on the other hand, are more or less like opinion pieces, in-depth pieces where authors who are basically users of Seeking Alpha do write-ups about stocks. Some of them are bullish, some of them are bearish. It just depends on the name. So you can sort this out. If you don't care what other people think or research concepts about other stocks, you don't have to get that in your email. You just uncheck the box and you just stick with news. Now let's take a look at a specific stock. We'll just use Apple since it's at the top and they actually recently did their earnings. Now Apple generates a lot of news, so I'm going to dig a little bit further here. Go into the news column. This is all Apple news, and we can select earnings news. And then you have some commentary about it, but somewhere down here, we should see a recap of what Apple's earnings were. And here we go. So right off the bat in your email account, if you were following Apple, you would have got the press release link, and you would have got an overview, a very simple bullet point overview of the earnings. All right, so that's the news headlines feature. But there's another great time-saving application here. If we go back to Apple homepage and we select earnings, and then we go to transcripts, you can see that they have everything from the Apple earnings call baked into Seeking Alpha. All right, so right off the bat, you can play and listen to the entire call right inside of this website. They also have the press release, which, some companies do presentations, PDF presentations. This one is a press release. That's the format that Apple uses. And you get past some of the introductory blah, 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 if you will, and then you go right down into where they are reporting the meat of their earnings. And if we go back to where we clicked on the press release, you also have access to the 10Q right inside of this. And you can see the little tab here. You can have it pop up as a PDF. Scroll right through here. So no more searching for X company's investor relations page, right? All this information is buried right inside of Seeking Alpha. And let me show you one more thing. On the earnings call, the transcripts are posted. So if you don't have the ability or you don't care to actually listen to the whole call, you can go through this and the transcript is written out right for you. And I think one of the hacks that I like best about this is, like, if you heard a small tidbit from the earnings call, maybe somebody posted something on Twitter or whatever and you want to investigate it more, at least on a PC, it's just a Control F. And how about we try the word watch, because I think they released a new watch in this. And sure enough, at least from the PC variety where I'm on, you can go in here and check out how many instances of the word watch are in here. I'm sure some of them have nothing to do with the actual Apple Watch, but you can navigate right to the point of the earnings call where they're talking about that. And for me, that's super helpful because some of these earnings calls are pretty long, and if I just wanted to look at something like stock buybacks or dividend or something like that, this is very helpful to just skip to the chase instead of reading through every paragraph. All right, now circling back to the Apple earnings page here, one thing that you may have not noticed the first time through, but they have earnings call transcripts and some downloadable information from earnings calls from a long time ago, okay? So let's just click on Q2 of 2015. You've got the 10Q that you can download and take a look at, and you have the full earnings call transcript from 2015. So very helpful in here to just have this whole archive at your fingertips. And maybe you don't need to go back to 2015, you know, maybe that's too far, but perhaps you wondered, like, hey, what did Apple do in Q2 of 2020? And that information is going to be right in front of you. All right, last thing on the single stock view, if you came in here and you needed a refresher, perhaps mid-quarter, what was the expectations? Maybe you were just learning about this stock and you wanted to see what did they do in their latest quarter, what are people expecting, and when is the next quarter for the release. You've got all sorts of neat things in here. You've got the revisions over the past 90 days, both up and down. And you have this bar chart that kind of gives you an idea of how well Apple has performed relative to the consensus estimates. And the bar chart is like a quarterly view, but you also get the fiscal year view right here in sort of table form, and you can get a feel for which way things are trending from a valuation standpoint, just looking at this, both on the EPS and the revenue side. All right, so that was some of the highlights from the single stock view during earnings season. You have all the corporate documents that are going to be uploaded right to Seeking Alpha. You get an earnings call transcript, and of course you get sort of the email or app alerts when those numbers come in. But the other thing I like to do when we're kind of in peak earnings season is really just scroll through all earnings, right? And this is very easy to do on Seeking Alpha. If we go to latest news, and we should have an earnings, there's earnings count, earnings news. And this brings up, I'm gonna hide full stories so we can get like a full view of everything. This brings up all of the earnings that were reported on their newswire, which is, you know, basically every stock that has even the semblance of a following. So let's just scroll down here and see if we can pick out any good ones. Some of these are previews, which are also helpful. So in terms of Siemens preview, they tell you the consensus EPS is $1.11, consensus revenue is $18 billion. So if you're following a stock and you kind of forgot what the target was, they tell you that. Over the last 3 months, EPS estimates have seen 1 upward revision, and revenue estimates have seen 4 upward revisions and 0 downward. So these tend to come out about 24 hours prior to the actual earnings release. Now let's see if we can pick off a company here that I can recognize. Here's one, Hub Group. Surges on record Q4 performance. So I don't even know what stock this is. Hub Group, right? But if I'm watching earnings and I want to learn more, I'm going to see a headline like this and say, hey, maybe I want to learn more about it. And then you get back to some of the features we talked about in the single stock view. So it's a great way to kind of accidentally stumble on some stocks that you might want to add to your watch list. All right, guys, so those are some tips and tricks for using SeekingAlpha during earnings season. I think this platform has a lot to offer. And if you guys research a lot of stocks like I do and you just sort of enjoy reading about stocks, maybe you can't invest in all of them. I'm certainly not a millionaire, but you enjoy reading about them and thinking about things from a higher level. SeekingAlpha is a great tool for that. And if you're interested in learning more, definitely use my affiliate link in the description. Save yourself a boatload of money. Help support my channel, which I greatly appreciate. And if you have any questions about the platform, leave them in the comments below. I'm usually pretty quick to get back to people on those. All right, investors, hope you're having a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends. We will see you on the next one.